Hi everyone, this is Miss Gray from Rydell Elementary. In the last lesson, you used the area model to multiply mixed numbers. Today, we are going to learn a different way to multiply mixed numbers. Let's look at the problem 3/4 times 1/6. Ask yourself the question, will the product from the problem be greater or less than 3/4? Pause the video and think about this. If you said the product will be less than 3/4, then you are correct. 3/4 is being multiplied by a number that is less than 1. Remember that from mental math. When you multiply two fractions, multiply the numerators of the fractions to find the numerator of the product. Multiply the denominators of the fractions to find the denominator of the product. So, 3/4 times 1/6 is going to give you a product of 3/24. Let's look at our first problem. This problem is different from the last because the factors are greater than 1. I know the product will be greater than 2 because I am multiplying it by a number greater than 1. It will also be greater than 1 2/3 because 2 is greater than 1. Let's start by renaming each factor as a fraction. 2 is equal to 2 over 1. 1 2/3, written as a fraction, is 5/3. If you forget how to turn a mixed number into a fraction, please go back and watch the previous videos. I can now multiply 2 over 1 times 5/3 by multiplying the numerators together and the denominators together. My answer is going to be 10/3. I will rename 10/3 as a mixed number. Another name for 10/3 is 3 1/3. Let's try another problem. 6 2/3 times 2 1/4. I know the product will be greater than 6 2/3 because I am multiplying it by a number greater than 1. It will also be greater than 2 1/4 because 6 2/3 is greater than 1. Let's start by renaming each factor as a fraction. 6 2/3 is equal to 20/3, and 2 1/4 is equal to 9/4. I can now multiply 20 times 9 to get an answer of 180 for my numerator, and 3 times 4, which is 12. I will now rename this as a mixed number by doing a division problem. Once I've performed my division, I can see that 12 goes into 180 15 times. The answer to this problem is 15, or 180 over 12. Let's take a look at one more problem. 3 5/6 times 1 3/4. I know the product will be greater than 3 5/6 because I am multiplying it by a number that's greater than 1. It will also be greater than 1 3/4 because 3 5/6 is greater than 1. Let's rename each factor as a fraction. 3 5/6 is equal to 23/6 times 7/4. When I multiply these two together, 23 times 7 is going to equal 161, and 6 times 4 is 24. I am now going to rename this as a mixed number. I can see my quotient is 6. That's going to be my whole number. My remainder becomes my numerator, and my divisor is my denominator. So this problem is equal to 6 and 17/24.